Okay, welcome. So, in this lesson, we're going to be discussing the emotional freedom technique. And this is a technique I really, oh my God, I get so much value out of. Everybody who's ever used it gets so much value out of it. The biggest thing I find is either A, remembering to do it, or B, wanting to get out of the mess. And I will explain a little more about that as we go along, as we get further along. All right. So, healing doesn't mean the damage never existed. It means the damage no longer controls our lives. I don't know who said that. I saw it somewhere and it didn't have an author, but it is true. It doesn't mean it didn't exist. It doesn't mean we're not acknowledging our wounds. It just means that we will not allow it to control our future. So the emotional freedom technique is a secret weapon for calming the fuck down. Like it really is the secret sauce to calming down. And you know, it's so funny because they say, what's the one thing to tell a woman when you want her to calm down that'll make it worse? And it's like to calm down, right? So in this lesson, we learned how to use an ancient acupressure technique to reduce the intensity of negative and uncomfortable feelings. So we will discuss what is EFT. It's a holistic healing method. How does it work with the parasympathetic nervous system? And then a demonstration using the setup statements. And then following this, there will be a tutorial that I'll attach for you to actually see these points in real time, being used in real time. And I will also have some worksheets uploaded so that you can actually see as a diagram where these acupressure points are. Okay. And at first it seems like a lot of overwhelm and a lot of information, but truthfully, once you do it like once or twice, it is pretty simple to do. And I really think we should do this maybe on one of our coaching calls. Okay. All right, let's just move on because I don't want to get stuck here. All right, so of course, we're going to set our intention first and let's begin. You can read along with me or you can just listen quietly. Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving. Let your request be made known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. This is actually an actual scripture that I forgot to put the reference to. So, big ups the King James Version. Alrighty, let's see. So, what exactly is EFT, holistic healing method, and how does it manage our negative emotions? So, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, also known as tapping. It's a holistic healing method that involves tapping on specific meridian points on the body, which focus on a particular or while focusing on a particular problem or issue. Okay. Those meridian points are the same points like used in acupressure. So, what does it do? Well, EFT is believed to help release emotional and physical blockages, reduce stress and anxiety, and alleviate pain and other symptoms. It's based on the idea that negative emotions and experiences can disrupt the body's energy system, causing physical and emotional discomfort. By tapping on these specific points, the energy flow can be restored, allowing the body to heal itself. And you know, we talk about that a lot, right? Like how the stress and negative emotions keeps our body in fight or flight mode, causing blockages, stopping the energy flow, stopping blood flow, and just having us in a state of almost like paralysis, right? So, EFT is a non invasive, drug free technique that can be used to address a wide range of issues from anxiety, depression, phobias, PTSD, physical pain, and more. And there is actual data and research done to supporting this. It is relatively easy to learn and can be practiced anywhere, making it a convenient tool for self-help and stress management. Now, many people find EFT to be safe and effective alternative to traditional therapies, particularly for those who may be resistant or unable to access other forms of treatment. So let's look at how this works. So The theory behind EFT and how it works is based on the idea that the negative emotions disrupt the body's energy flow, right? And so when we tap on these specific meridian points, we restore the energy flow and release the emotional and physical blockages. Okay. Now, the tapping is accompanied by verbalizing a specific issue, feeling, or belief while focusing on it. Okay. By acknowledging the issue and releasing the emotional charge around it, it helps the energy system be balanced and the body can start to heal itself. Now, additionally, EFT has been shown to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the rest and relaxation response, or the fight and flight. And this can lead to a reduction in stress and anxiety, which can in turn alleviate physical symptoms associated with stress, such as headaches, muscle tension, and digestive issues. Okay. It helps you get back to baseline. And when I say while verbalizing, I literally mean you're hitting on the meridian points while saying, even though I'm very frustrated, I still love and accept myself. Even though I'm very frustrated. Like, so as you're tapping, you're saying your statements. Okay. So let's talk about those statements. So some things that come up is aren't reinforcing the negative by completely continue to repeat the negative feeling. Well, the truth is that yes, you are saying it, but you're not saying it to yourself, because you are also giving positive feedback by saying I still holy and lovely and love my goodness. You're still giving back saying, I still wholly and completely love and accept myself. And by doing that, you are reinforcing that it's okay for me to have these feelings and I'm aware of these feelings and I'm not judging these feelings because I still love myself. Does that make sense? So, no, we're not reinforcing the negative. Now, a basic statement is a phrase that is used while tapping on a specific meridian point to acknowledge the problem or the issue being addressed. It typically consists of two parts, which is the negative statement and then a positive affirmation that comes behind. The negative statement is used to identify the issue or the problem that you want to work on, while the positive affirmation is used to affirm yourself despite the problem or the issue. The basic setup statement is repeated while tapping on the karate chop point, which is located on the side of the hand. So here, okay? And I'm literally tapping right here. And I personally like to use 3 or 4 fingers because I want to make sure that I cover where the acupressure point is, and there's no mistake that I'm not going to hit it, right? So an example of a basic setup statement is, even though I feel anxious about giving a presentation, I deeply and completely accept myself, right? So in this example, the feeling anxious about giving a presentation is the negative feeling or the negative statement. And then deeply and completely accepting myself is the positive affirmation. Now, the statement is repeated 3 times. So every time we do a setup statement, we're always going to do 3 times. We're going to repeat the statement 3 times, even if we use our sore spots, because there's 2 ways you can set up this technique. One is here, starting in the sore spot, they call it. And you can tell, at first when I did it, I couldn't tell. I was like, I don't know if this is the sore spot or not. So I'm gonna go back to my hand. But I actually prefer the sore spot now that I figured it out. And it's tender. As you tap on your chest, you'll be able to feel it. And if you're doing it with me right now, you can feel like where it's more tender in comparison to the rest of your chest. And then, like I said, right here. So it's either, even though I feel anxious about, because you'll be rubbing it, even though I feel anxious about giving a presentation, I deeply and completely accept myself. And I'll do that 3 times while I'm rubbing this part. Now, if I use my hand, I will tap. Okay. So if you don't know, I'm sorry. Yeah. So we're going to do it 3 times on the karate chop point before moving on and tapping to the other meridian points. One thing I want to say is, it may say it in the demonstration. I'm not sure, because I'm going to connect the best one that I feel will show it to you. But one thing to acknowledge is that even though you say that full statement 3 times right here, as you start to move around and you're like, I feel anxious, this presentation is annoying me, like, you can change up the statement, but you just have to set it up with the first 3. Okay. So how many rounds should you do? Well, you need to do enough rounds until you come down. So that is why when you do this, you want to start and write a number down somewhere, or remember a number somewhere where how intense these feelings are. Is it a 10, a 8, a 7, a 5? So that when you do the first round and you ask yourself again how intense these feelings feel, you can give yourself a new number and compare it. Because sometimes the feelings go away so quickly that it's almost like you never had a feeling, so you can't even tell. Like, if it's such a weird thing. So you want to give yourself a rating first, then do the round, and then give yourself another rating. And if it's still, over 4 or 5, then do it again. Okay. And then how do you know it's working? Well, that's why it's important to rate it, because you'll know it's working, because when you do the second round, the number will be lower. And also, people ask, what if I don't know what I'm feeling? Like, I can't articulate it, I can't put it in words or express it. Well, if you don't know what you are feeling or why, that's okay too. It's common for people to feel overwhelmed or confused about their emotions, especially if they've been repressing them for a long time. So, one of the benefits of EFT is that you can bring awareness to your emotions and help you identify what you're feeling. So, when you're using it, you can start by tapping on the karate point, saying, even though I'm not sure what I'm feeling, I still completely love and accept myself, right? So, as you continue tapping, you'll start to notice thoughts and feelings or physical sensations arising in your body. And you can use those cues to guide you to help uncover the underlying emotion or issues that you want to work on. And it's also important to remember that EFT is self-exploratory technique. So it works at your own pace. So just take your time. Like, don't rush. Once you get good at it, you'll be able to do it. Once you get the hang of it, which won't take long, I promise. You'll be able to do it kind of anywhere. But just take your time and just really assess how you feel before you started, assess how you feel after, and just work on doing it around the different pressure points. So when do you use EFT, right? So you can use it for managing stress and anxiety, coping with emotional challenges, addressing physical symptoms, and improving performance, all of those things. There's a range of benefits for your physical and mental health. And by tapping on those specific meridian points while focusing on your stress and anxiety, it helps to restore the energy flow in your body and activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which can promote relaxation and reduce the physical symptoms associated with stress. So, and also it helps to address emotional challenges like depression, grief, anger. By acknowledging and releasing those emotions through tapping, you get to restore that energy. I remember when I was going through a pretty crappy breakup, and it was a breakup that I didn't want to have, even though I was the one who initiated it. I didn't want to do it, but I had to do it for my own well-being. And whenever I would get tempted to want to call or miss him or whatever, I would tap, and it totally worked. Like, it was amazing. It got me through the breakup. Let's just be honest. So yeah. Okay. So let's talk about this wrap up here. So EFT can be used as a self-help tool for managing a range of emotional and physical issues, as well as a complementary therapy alongside traditional treatments. It creates a sense of purpose and direction in life, making it easier to stay on track and accomplish your set goals, as well as it brings you back to baseline. That's really the main thing. I feel like, especially as minority women, we encounter a lot of aggression and microaggression and passive aggressiveness and all these other kind of things. And using EFT will allow us to not act a whole fool. It'll keep us in our mouths in check. So that's why I like to use it. But yeah, there's that. So I hope that this helped you. The next video is actually going to be the actual tutorial. It will not be me. I will be connecting a tutorial that I found on YouTube. And then that will walk you through it. I encourage you to follow the tutorial with them, like do it with them. And then there will also be 2 downloads for you to actually see where the meridian points are marked on a diagram. So you can see exactly where they are, where it's the crown, the forehead, which is right at the beginning of the brow, the edge of the eye, underneath the nose, the chin, the collarbone, right? And then underneath the arm where the lymph nodes are. And then there's now you'll find that the practices, some of them will use the back of the hand, some of them won't. I use all of them, but you just find what's comfortable for you. As long as you do the main ones like I just told you, you're totally fine. So yeah, can't wait for you to hit it to the next video and give this a try. It's really an awesome and amazing tool to have in your toolbox. All right, thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next lesson.